Okay, first of all, I want to tell you that it's a pleasure for me to have a discussion with such a big player, champion of one of the best leagues. So it is a huge pleasure for me. So let's start. You know, in Serbia and Bulgaria, the conditions for the talents are similar. They are not the best, you know, in Europe. The mentality is almost the same, but you still have kids that grow up and you sell players for 80, 50, 100 million, and you have players all over the world in the best teams. And I want to know how exactly it's possible. So I will ask you a few questions, and maybe we can figure out what is the situation like that. Okay. First of all, interesting for me is how long you have to watch a talent to decide if he's appropriate for your team, because we know that you work for Partizan, for the scouting players.
Just a short question. You mean for the youth or
for the youth,
senior?
For the youth.
For the youth, you know, it's very easy to see the young kid shining on the pitch, but I think the main thing what you have to see in the young players to age of 12 is just to pick one characteristic, the best his characteristic, and that's what I'm looking for at the moment. So the time, how long you have to watch him and follow him, we cannot say that. We also have possibility to bring all these young kids, you know, to come for a trial in Partizan and to see how they react with the better players. If this quality what they shown, if they can show also in our team.
Understand. Okay, what about the senior team? You know, when you're selecting
senior team, it's a bit different. I mean, we get all the informations. Many people are sending the players to the clubs. So the way how I see that is that first you get a name, you check his highlights on the video, of course. If you like the highlights, you start to watch all game, also the video. After that, I prefer to go and watch the player live, because you can see the best what you see on the videos. Maybe you see something more or something less live. So, and for me, the third thing is to find out what kind of character is the player. For example, I'm working in the club who is fighting for the title, and I think for the players who come to the club, they need to have the champion character, so that they know to handle the pressure, because it's very important. We have many players who are very talented, very good players, but they cannot handle the pressure. So there they have like a barrier that they cannot perform their best.
Okay, and how many people is your scout team, you know, in Partizan particularly?
At the moment, there is 4 scouts in the youth, and we have around 10 scouts in the first team.
Okay, and when you start to watching, for example, a kid, is there only one person that is selecting him, or they go, for example, 2 of them, and after that they discuss what they see and what to go next?
You know, weekly we make a schedule for the scouts, for the youth. We make schedule for the games, and we send our scouts to watch. In case we get a report from the game and there is some specific name with some specific qualities, so we watch a couple of times. So maybe sometimes it's possible that in one game, 2 scouts are watching the same game, but not in the same sites, on different sites, and then after that we sit and everyone says their report.
Discuss their
yes.
point of view. I understood. Okay. Okay. For example, you select a young lad, And what's next? What's the structure? How you contact with him, with his parents, or what's next?
Today, I think the young players have already agents, or you need to make a network. So when you see some player, of course, if you like him and if you think that he have a bright future, so you make directly contact with people known from him. So either parents or agents, you always make contact.
Okay. One thing that for me is a huge problem here in Bulgaria, especially with the youth teams, and this is the problem with the parents' influence. They argue with the coach who has to play or something like that. So my question is there the same problem in Serbia, and are there any rules about that? Because here in some clubs, the parents even are not allowed to attend the trainings because, I'm a parent. Unfortunately, my sons are not interested in football. But when I watch games of the youths, there are parents that, they act awfully. So I want to know how is the situation in Serbia? Is it?
It is quite similar, and there is many private academy schools opened in last couple of years. So, and the parents are paying the fee every month to the academy, so they think that they have right to say something to the coach. And I think this is really wrong. And in my opinion, I think the parents doesn't have anything to talk with the coach. I mean, there are directors, or I don't know who above the coach, and who can give the reports to the parents, but not on daily basis. So, like once in a month, or like once in 3 months, so you can give the report of development of your kid. So regarding the trainings, I think that we need to split the games and the trainings. So if the parents come into the trainings and watch the trainings, I think the kids see the training same as a game. Game should be something really special. So in my opinion, the trainings should be closed.
Okay, understood. And what about the psychologist in football? Is there practice to use sport psychologist at a young age, and is there any age that you should start to talk with? Because for me, in my opinion, it's very important. And in my practice in Poland, there was such a guy that I think he helps a lot. And I want to ask you, is there any practice in Serbia?
I agree with you, and I think it's very important to have like a mental coach in any club. I take my case. During I was an active football player, I have several injuries, and dealing with the mental coach helps me to come back stronger and with more confidence. So we are willing to bring a mental coach in our club at the moment for the youth. So because I think it's very important for their development. So, and just there is a bit problem, with the parents. If you say that you bring the psychologist to the club, if you send their kids, so they would think something is wrong with the kids, but they need to understand that this is for just for good development of the young players.
Okay, and I had a question that is not exactly on the topic scouting, but we talk before the meeting with you about that, because for me it's very important and a very big problem now, because I'm interested in finances. I graduated, and for me the problem here, especially for the young lads, that they don't don't save money, don't look in the future after 10, 15 years when they finish the career. So I want to ask you, in your career, was there a financial advisor or something like that? Because you played in Benfica, you played in Young Boys, you played in Ajax, only big clubs, and that's in the future. That's what I'm interested to do, to explain the young lads that they have to prepare for the career after the active football career, and they have to think as soon as possible about that. So in your career, how was it? Who took the decisions for your financial stuff and so on?
I think it's a very important topic because there are many cases we see, not just in football, in general sport, that the young players need to understand that the career don't last forever. So they need to understand, we need to give them the information that the day will come when you need to say goodbye to football and to be prepared for after. So when you finish career, you don't have income, you have outcome only. So they need to understand that, and we need to give them the information about several cases specific for football players who has done their career and they are struggling after that. So in my case, in the beginning, my father took a very important role to that. He was responsible for financial things. So, and until he didn't feel that I could overtake and think for myself.
Understood. Okay, if there is any questions from the audience, I'll be glad to hear from someone of you, because
okay. Yes, yes, yes.
I hear you.
Firstly.
Окей. Поздрав, ја ќе пребацити мало. Желeo бих да те питам како и шта би препоручио младом студенту кој би се развијал у тој сфери у кој се ти тренутно налазиш, па ми ти слободно одговори на енглеском, не е проблем.
You mean misliš na scouting? I am as well, you know, the new in this job. You know, I started to do scouting since last summer. So I think, you know, the main advice could be, you know, that you need to make your network with the people, to talk with the people who have already experience. The way of organization is very important. But in the end, it's important, you know, what you see on the pitch. So it's just by repetition, watching the games, going to the games, looking what you want to see, you know, from the player, specific player.
My question is, would you like to tell us more about the conditions that you work in the Partizan Academy? Let's say, how many pitches do they have for the kids? How many training staff do every team has? And let's say, how are they paid? Are the salaries bigger than the average in the country or lower? And do they have any benefit system? So if any player goes to the senior team or makes a transfer abroad, do they, the coaches of the youth teams, get some money of this? Thank you.
Coaches doesn't get any money of the last sentence you mentioned. So in Partizan we have 8 pitches in our sports center, and we are talking at the moment about the players, but I think the most important is that we have conditions to give them, that they can train, that they can develop. So can you just repeat the other sentence you...
How many coaches do they, does every team
It's different. So in total at the moment we have more than 60 persons in our academy. So in that number are the coaches, goalkeeper coaches, conditional coaches, secretaries. So in total we have more than 60 persons.
I think what does he mean is he wants to ask, are they motivated to work with the kids? Because here in Bulgaria, they don't have good salaries. They're getting paid like average person. So I think that's a big problem because they're not motivated and it's not their main job even. No. So how is in Serbia? Are they happy with their salaries and are they motivated to work every day hard to develop a player?
I can say, point of my club, I can say that they have the salary above average in general. So about the motivation, I always say we need to talk with the coaches to see what is their plans, so if they want to be youth coach or senior coach. So I understand sometimes it's a difficult, some coaches have to do, 2 jobs. But, we need to start from somewhere, we need to have motivation from the coaches, to send this motivation to the kids, and I know it's not sometimes easy, but, we have to start from somewhere.
Yeah, I think that it's a good idea, the coach of the kid, if he made a good transfer to take a percent of because it's a good motivation. For me, it's my point of view.
I understand what you mean, but I maybe in countries like ours, maybe this should be the case, but in West Europe, yeah. I didn't hear any case like that.
I understood.
Само да кажа, че следващия въпрос ще бъде от един от следващите спикъри, един от директорите на Динамо Загреб Академия, Анджей Иванко.
Hello, thank you. I will just a quick question. You've been in Ajax, you've been in Benfica, and you saw the players that went through the academies of Ajax and Benfica. What is the main difference that you noticed between the players between you and let's say them?
In the time I was in the youth of Partizan, we travel a lot for the European tournaments abroad to, France, Italy. And what I see the difference between our players and their players is that they were, I can say, much more explosive than we are, much more faster, much more stronger. So, and in technical way, I didn't see that they were better than us. So I think that was the biggest difference what I see, and they put a lot of they're really concentrate on intensity. So and what we are doing here in our countries, I think for us is the most important to have technical elements players. So
yeah, for me.
I hope.
It's the main difference when I watch Bulgarian game from our league and from England, for example. It's like you're watching other sport. Everything is very, very bit faster. And what was in your case? Who scouted you? How was the from your experience? Because.
Who scouted me as a player?
And how was the process? Was it easy to make a transfer or?
No, it's not easy as the colleagues before were talking regarding the players from non-EU. So, for example, in Holland, so there is some minimum what players should earn. So it was not easy, but. I had luck in that time that, not luck, but I think I deserved that. So I was in trial in AZ Alkmaar first for 20 days. And after that I moved to national team. So I was supposed to come back in AZ after national team games. So in the same game were scout of AZ and Sport Club Heerenveen. And I don't know, I just have a good feeling with, I had a good feeling with Heerenveen as a club and this, so I decided to go there. But what I want to say, you know, I had opportunity to talk with many scouts because I'm into it right now and I want to get much more information. And one scout who scouted me in the youth, so, and I know that he was on the game, I was very bad at the game. So I didn't play my best, I was decent. So after a couple of years, we were sitting again and I asked him, what did you see in that game from me? So he said, it was your bad game, but what I see your ideas. So the passes you want to pass didn't go through, but for me it was important to see the idea, what kind of view in the game you have. So, and then on the end he said the good scouts are the scouts who see the future of the player. So
a little details. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, if there is any questions, one more question. Okay, I want to ask you one out of the topic. It's very interesting for me. You played in great teams. In which team did you feel the best, and what is the coach that is your favorite and made something special for your career?
It's a tough question, you know, regarding the coaches, because I was really lucky to work with many big names, starting from Louis van Gaal, Marco van Basten, Frank de Boer, Jorge Jesus.
That's why I ask, because I know.
So it's not easy to say one name, but I learned a lot from all of them. You know, even in tough time in Ajax under Martin Jol, I learned a lot from this man. So, you know, I really don't want to take any name in front. So
our legend Barbatov also loved Martinho, as I saw him interviews. He said great things about his personality, especially.
Yes, yes. So in which team, you know, I also had luck to be part of the big clubs that I play.
Okay, which title is the most important for you? Is there any
you know,
title who is...
I would say I have 3 most important titles. First, I would say in Ajax, after I think 7 years we won the title. Second would be in Benfica, after 5 years we won the title. And the last one with Young Boys, we won the title after 32 years. So I would say these 3 titles, but any title, it's a trophy, you know. So even when I stopped playing professional football, I used to play for 3rd division in Serbia. So I won the title there also. So I count that title as well.
Okay, it was a pleasure for me, and I think the audience too. Thank you.